Hello and welcome to Hibs TV as we build up to today's cinch Premiership game. It feels like a little while since we've been back here at Easter Road, but today we face Kilmarnock, a side in rich form in the league so far, winning 3 of their last 4 games. For the Hibs though, it's been a frustrating period, being knocked out of the Viaplay Cup in the semi-finals and conceding a late equaliser against St Mirren midweek. But today hopefully our fortunes will change, and I'm delighted to be joined by the Hibs women's manager Grant Scott to help talk us through and preview today's match. Grant, how are you?
Yeah, good, thanks Adam, thanks.
Yeah, excellent. Well, obviously it's your second time back here as being Hibs women's manager. Was it an easy decision to come back?
Absolutely. I've said it a couple of times now, it feels like coming back home. You know, there's so many familiarities in the squad and the surroundings and staff, and I'm just delighted to be back and given another opportunity here.
Yeah, and the season obviously got off to quite a difficult start. Always happens, I suppose, when you're building and putting together a new team, but you must be pretty happy with the progress since.
Yes, I think so. We probably, even saying all of that, probably still a little bit disappointed, but you need to step back sometimes and realise that we have built another new squad. A lot of departures, a lot of incoming players, playing a new style, a new shape, new manager obviously, so it just takes time to bed in, but overall I think more consistency required, but happy with the progress. Yeah,
and obviously you beat Montrose 8-0 in your last game. It was a magnificent performance. How pleased were you with the way that they implemented the style?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's obviously lovely to get all those goals and a clean sheet, and it's nice things to have, but more importantly was the performance overall. We clearly dominated a match, but we played it with a style that we've been looking for a number of weeks and months. We were very aggressively attacking, fast-paced, lots of fluency about the girls' play. So, and it's credit to the players, they took on the pre-match information and carried out the game almost perfectly.
Yeah, you've won 8-0, 8-1, 6-2. Goals are a huge part of Hibs women, aren't they?
Yeah, it's one of the main things I said to the girls when I came back, was that I wanted to see us be that team again. I think we were that a number of years ago, and I'd rather win a game 5-4 than scrape out a 1-0.
Yeah.
As daft as it sounds, it's the same 3 points, but I want to watch an attractive team, and I think that's what we're starting to create, and we're starting to see from the players now. So I'm happy with the style that we're creating.
When you come away with victories that by that magnitude, is it hard to almost keep the players' feet on the ground a little bit?
Yes, I think so. You often don't learn as much about yourselves winning as comfortably as that, other than we're capable of doing it. But yeah, we've said it from day one, and it's a bit cliche these days. We don't try not to get too high with those high moments, and not get too lows with lows that are round the corner at some point. So yeah, it's difficult to keep everyone grounded, but it gives you good buoyancy in the camp, and the players are happy in their work, so that helps a lot.
Yeah, and you've obviously got Dundee United in the Cup this weekend. How much are you looking forward to that one, and wanting to obviously progress into the latter rounds?
Yeah, for sure. I think it'll be quite a tough match. I did say that last week again, however. I think Dundee United, I think, will offer defensively a tougher proposition for us, just to break them down. But it's cup competition, we need to progress. I think for us to get to the semis again is another feather in our cap, and we want to go as far as we can, and we're in the competition to win it. Let's not kid ourselves. It'll be tough, but we need to knock over what's in front of us in the cup, and tomorrow it's Dundee United. But yeah, I'm looking to progress for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you won't want to look too far ahead, but obviously there's a huge game coming up here as well, the Capital Cup game against Hearts. Firstly, the derbies are so special, aren't they? And it's even more special to be able to play it here.
Yeah, special occasions always, that's fairly obvious to say, but getting to play here again, a lot of the players have been here before, but doesn't get any better than playing at your home ground for a derby match. So yeah, look, we've got to take care of business tomorrow, but we know behind the scenes, coaching staff and whatnot, that there's a big one round the corner. But great occasion as always, and nice to win clearly. But it'll be another tough game for us.
Absolutely, and we'd like to see as many supporters down here at Easter Road for that game as possible. And we've got you a little VT ready just to get you in the mood for that one.
Edinburgh Derby is special.
Full chance again for Ewan, and Hibs are back on level terms.
It's always a fixture you look out for when the fixtures come out.
Boyle is there! And Martin Boyle!
It's a good chance to be a hero.
To Easter Road!
It's the best occasion to score a goal as a Hibs player.
It's the best atmosphere as a Highby.
And that's why we want you to support us later this month at Easter Road.
Hibs take on Hearts in the Capital Cup on Saturday, 18th November.
It's a lovely flick, and it's gone all the way through! Rachel Boyle doubles Hibs advantage!
Tickets are completely free as we aim to keep hold of the Capital Cup and the bragging rights.
Although that's fallen nicely for Macoloni.
Head to hibernianfc.co.uk now for your free ticket.
And be there for another special Edinburgh Derby.
We could hear it from the men's and the women's players just then. Obviously, playing Edinburgh Derbies are incredibly special, and it would mean so much, wouldn't it, for the women's players to have as many Hibs fans here as possible, and hopefully beat our record here in terms of the attendance.
Yeah, I think we heard it when we played earlier in the season at Tynecastle. The backing helps the home side, there's no doubt about that. So the more we can get here, the more people we can get to support the players, the better. And it'll be a tough match, a good game between two pretty evenly matched sides. So it's one worth coming to watch for sure. Yeah,
and year on year there's been growth, hasn't there, in terms of the attendance. It shows that there's a real appetite in the city and in Scotland for women's football.
Yeah, I think, to be fair, I think both clubs do it really, really well. We've obviously got some good backing from sponsors and stuff to make the match accessible for as many as can make it. But yeah, the evolution of the game, both clubs have got across this fixture really well. And yeah, just the more people that come and watch, the better for the players.
Yeah, absolutely. And on to the men's team now, because there's a big game, obviously, coming up today. Nick Montgomery's had a quick turnaround in fixtures after the St Mirren game on Wednesday, and probably one of his biggest tasks will be lifting the players after the late equaliser from St Mirren.
Yeah, I think it's always difficult as a manager to, losing a goal that late on can make you feel like it's a defeat. But I think in general the performance was good enough to indicate that there's improvements happening. The team's playing slightly differently, and look, it's possibly an error later in the game that players could have possibly made a better decision on. But I don't. Nick's a positive guy. He speaks really positively all the time about the progress that's happening, and I think as long as he can reinforce that message, that the players will pick themselves up fine.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's take a quick look back at Wednesday night's game, the 2-2 draw with St Mirren.
I totally agree. The goalkeepers get a lot of protection, yeah, but there's times where it's like that. It's
Gogic has missed it. Dylan Vente's inside the penalty area, cuts it back. Josh Campbell gets the shot away, and Hibs take the lead. Well, that was out of absolutely nothing. Hibs spring forward quickly. It was a mistake by former Highby Alex Gogic that allowed the ball to run through.
You can see the tug in his shirt, but he's never getting to the ball.
52 minutes, 53 minutes on the clock. O'Hara steps up, right-footed. Marshall goes the wrong way. St Mirren back on level terms. Certainly Martin Boyle, you would expect, might get a run out. Ellie Ewan's done well over on the far side into the path of Dylan Vente. Gets to the byline, cuts it back. Here's the chance. Yes. It's in the net. Hibs have the lead. Joe Newell it is. Well, Ellie Ewan it was. Burst forward with pace into the path of Dylan Vente. He gets to the byline, looks up, cuts it across the 6-yard box. And Joe Newell it is, the skipper there, to roll the ball into the net. 68 minutes on the clock. Hibs lead by 2-1.
Really, really good play. Especially right at the start from Ellie Ewan. Good ball into Dylan Vente.
Got stuck under his feet a little bit there, unfortunately. St Mirren win it back. Slipped by Jego. Zakis into the path of Grieve, blocked again by Rocky. And it falls at the edge of the Hibs area, and it looks as though it's Lewis Jameson that has buried it beyond David Marshall in stoppage time. And Hibs just can't get the ball clear. It was unfortunate there, Ellie Ewan got the ball caught under his feet over on the far touchline, which allowed St Mirren to win it back.
Well, Grant, we just looked back at the goals from Wednesday night's game. Watching it back and watching the highlights, and yourself obviously speaking to Nick Montgomery as well, looking at the performance on the whole, it was a good one. I suppose that makes it even more sickening to come away with only 1 point.
Yeah, I think when you know you've done enough and well enough in the game and you've executed the game plan, it's always difficult to have that sucker punch at the end. But as I say, you got to flip that to the positive side and you know, convince your players that they're doing the right things and the capability they've got in an attacking sense now. You see it in the 2 goals, the fluency of movement, the numbers arriving in the box. You know, they're looking at an attacking threat again, which is great to see. Yeah,
Dylan Venti played a huge part as well in that one. His role as a striker, obviously everyone expects him to come in and score goals. He got 2 assists on Wednesday night. He's a great outlet for us in an area where we've got three injuries in terms of our strikers.
Yeah, and I think he's grabbed his opportunities when they've come around, and his performances have been strong. And look, it's nice if he can get goals for sure as a striker at every level, but I think when you're contributing as well as he has been, you know, he's doing his job for the team, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, absolutely. And when we were watching that back, we were both saying about almost luck in football. You could see it with the equaliser, the first shot. He rebounds, great block from Rocky, but goes straight back to the guy. It's just that little bit of luck almost that we need at the moment.
Yeah, look, you can have all the fancy ideas and tactics going on. Sometimes there's breaks of the ball that you just can't control, and you know, initially making a great block, as you say, the luck for it to fall plumb into the same lad's stride. You know, he didn't have to adjust at all. It's just a case of running on and calmly slotting it in, which he did well. But yeah, you sometimes need a break, and you know, hopefully there'll be something goes our way today.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully we'll get that break today. Well, before this one, we spoke to our head coach Nick Montgomery just to get his thoughts. Nick, obviously another short turnaround in terms of games. Kilmarnock this weekend, and a good opportunity to get a good result back in front of our home fans.
Yeah, really happy to be back at Easter Road. You know, 2 games away, and yeah, I love being at Easter Road. The boys love playing there. Love seeing the fans filling that stadium, and yeah, we're looking forward to putting on a good performance tomorrow against what's a well organised, you know, direct physical team. And yeah, we're at home, so it's definitely one to look forward to.
Yeah, what do you expect from Kilmarnock? Because obviously the side that you faced in your first game as Hibs head coach.
Yeah, I always remember the first side I faced, and you know, going back to that game, you know they're well organised and they're physical. They're very direct. They put you under a lot of pressure with balls out from wide areas and set pieces. So that's something that we have to deal with, not just this week, every week. But also, felt we played really well against them last time. Unfortunate that we dropped 2 points at the end of the game, conceding. But yeah, that's something that obviously we hopefully learn from. And looking forward to a good game of football tomorrow.
Yeah, we come into this one off the back of a few good performances, not probably having the results that we deserved out of those. Is it just a case of the players almost being a little bit more streetwise in certain scenarios?
Look, I think the performances have been really good. Been really happy with the performances. It's just moments in the game that we've spoken about, and call it street smart, game management, or just seeing the game out and getting what you deserve, but you don't always get what you deserve, and sometimes if in them moments your decision making's wrong. We know that in football you can get sucker punched in any sport, and we've definitely had that a few times. But what I love about the boys is the character. We get a knockback and we come in the next day and it's hurting, everybody's hurting, and we're frustrated, but we get back on the training ground, we move on quickly and we start preparing for the next game. So we've been real positive the last couple of days going into this game, knowing that there's coming an international break coming up, and it's a good opportunity for us to get a result tomorrow in front of our home fans.
The players could almost use that frustration as almost an extra advantage, couldn't they, in terms of their mentality and their mindset?
Look, they could, but that's not the right thing to do, because we don't play with frustration. We play with energy, with passion, and the boys, like controlling the game and having the ball. So we just need to continue doing what we're doing. We need to cut out the lapses of concentration and the small errors that are ultimately costing us at the minute. Sometimes they don't cost you, but it seems like every time we've made a mistake, it's cost us, and that's something that we have to accept. We have to swallow that, and we have to move forward and make sure that we continue to learn. There's a couple of young players in the squad. They're learning, every week in terms of their experience, and we keep going, and we know that we keep playing the way that we are. I'm more than confident that the results are going to come.
Yeah, we've had a few injuries over the last kind of few games. How are we looking on that front going into this weekend?
I've been a little bit unfortunate at the minute. We've got some real key members of the squad out on long-term injuries, and losing Alfie last week was a blow. So he could be out for a couple of weeks. But Martin Boyle, we obviously rested him on Wednesday night. Definitely the right thing to do, under advice from the medical staff as well. I think it was probably his knee slide that he did after scoring against Aberdeen. Unfortunately, 6 minutes after it was ruled out. But yeah, maybe I think he just unsettled something, overstretched something in his knee. But he's good to go. We took the precaution, not playing him on Wednesday night, and yeah, he's raring to go for tomorrow. So looking forward to seeing Boyle out there tomorrow.
Fantastic. Good luck this weekend.
Cheers. Thank you.
Well, Grant, a big talking point from that interview in terms of the game management, or the streetwise nature, just because of the late goals that have been conceded. How do you coach that into a team?
Look, I think it's difficult. We speak a lot to players about recognising and managing the momentum swings in games, because it's for and against you sometimes, and the other teams will do it against you. But it's a lot of individuals taking a bit of responsibility and understanding the cycle of the game. But there's things you can do and mention and coach into people for sure. You can take your time doing certain parts and critical parts of the match, put the ball in a certain area just to kill the pressure a little bit. So yeah, look, it's stuff. I think the players know what to do. It's just their choice of decision in the moment. Sometimes it goes awry, and that's natural. It happens in every walk of life. So, but yeah, I think messages will be reinforced on that. I don't think that's something to necessarily worry about. But yeah, reinforced for sure, because there's certainly things that could be better in that regard.
Yeah, and we've been excellent in terms of going forwards and creating chances. That will play a big part today against the Kilmarnock side that are very well drilled and very organised.
Yeah, I think it's a contrast in the styles. I think Kilmarnock are very well structured, a typical Derek McInnes team, if I'm honest. Very well drilled, organised, shapes very strong, solid. Hibs, on the other hand, are starting to move the ball really well. The dynamics in our running are vastly different. So yeah, I think when you pitch those two styles together, it's an interesting match ahead for sure.
Yeah, what do you think the team will have to do today to pick holes in that Kilmarnock defence?
I think the things have been doing quite well. I think moving the ball well. There's a lot of nice movement in the front line, middle to front. You saw again back in the VT, with particularly the second goal, there's 2 or 3 players tripping over each other to almost knock it in the net. So once you move the ball well and pull the opposition defence out of shape, you'll create more opportunities. But I think the Hibs team's capable of doing that. They certainly have been in the last few games. They're scoring, semi-final apart, seem to be scoring goals. Just a bit more, keeping them out in the net is the easiest thing to say, toughest thing to do. But doing that, I believe his team will score, regardless how well Kilmarnock are organised. But it's a tough challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll go to a quick break now, but make sure you stay with us, because we'll hear from Dylan Levitt and, of course, more analysis from Grant Scott. Make sure you stay with us.
When it comes to things that are exclusive to Scotland, We all have a thing or two to say.
They're amazing. They blew me away.
Superb.
Excellent customer service from start to finish.
First class service every time.
10 out of 10.
A fantastic sales exec.
Nothing was too much trouble.
Outstanding.
I wouldn't go anywhere else now.
Just some of the things that have been said about us. Macklin Motors, exclusive to Scotland.
I'm getting some work done. Enough of that. I am totally winning! Oh, and relaxing.
Here's your water.
With a coffee, thank you. I love this film. I'm doing all of this on my way to Mum's. Because it's all possible on an LNER train.
Next stop, London.
And I'm almost there.
Hello and welcome back to Hibs TV as we continue to build up to today's cinch Premiership match here at Easter Road against Kilmarnock. Ahead of this one, I caught up with our midfielder Dylan Levitt just to get his thoughts on the game. Dylan, we're speaking ahead of this weekend's game against Kilmarnock. Obviously, it's been quite a frustrating week building up into this one. What's the mood been like around the training camp?
Obviously, I think after the game, everyone was very disappointed, angry, frustrated. I think from obviously the result, but when we reviewed the game, we knew that we should have won that game again. Obviously, we couldn't wait to get back on the pitch and win 3 points on Saturday.
Can you use that almost frustration, and when you look back and you come away thinking we should have won that game, can you use that going into this weekend?
Yeah, I think from obviously the chance that we created in that game on Wednesday, they're going to start turning into goals, and that's when we're putting teams to bed early and obviously controlling the game throughout.
Yeah, how important are the kind of senior players in the group, the messaging from the head coach and his coaching staff off the back of a couple of results where you think it probably should have gone the other way?
Yeah, I think obviously in football you can't win every game. I think we're doing everything right on the pitch to win the game. It's just fine margins that are kind of letting us down. So hopefully when we cut them fine margins out, we'll be taking 3 points.
Yeah, absolutely. And you obviously mentioned the positives in terms of the performance. I suppose it is just around kind of trying to see games out. When you're on the pitch and you're in those situations, how do you deal with them, or how do you think we should kind of deal with them going forwards?
Yeah, I think knowing what minute the game's in, and obviously the scoreline plays a big part in that, and whether that's shutting up shop and just getting in a block or whatever, and maybe last 5-10 minutes getting away from what we're normally doing and trying to play in their half a bit more, whether we're winning free kicks, fouls in the corner, taking the ball to the corner, or just trying to kill the game off with just taking a bit of time with the free kicks, throw-ins, etc. with that.
Yeah, and obviously from a personal note, it's for you, it's been great that you've been able to kind of have a run in the team, get your match fitness up as well after your injury. How much have you actually been enjoying starting games and gaining regular minutes?
Yeah, I've loved it. I've loved, obviously, when the gaffer came in, laid down the system that he wanted to play, and obviously the foundation is what he wants from every player. I think as a midfielder, you want to be playing every game in that system and get on the ball as much as possible and play forward and be involved in the build-up and making the edge of the box and trying to get goals as well.
Yeah, and obviously it's Kilmarnock on Saturday, another chance for you to get in the starting 11, and a good chance as well for us to get back to winning ways.
Yeah, especially at Easter Road. I think from the games we've played recently there, we've really dominated the game, and I think on Saturday, if we take the chances that we create, we're going to get 3 points.
Yeah, good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Well, Grant, we heard from Dylan Levitt just there. I think he said that the players were disappointed, angry and frustrated after the game on Wednesday. I suppose them showing that emotion shows that a point at Paisley, even though St Mirren have been playing really well this year, in their minds isn't good enough.
I think it's natural reactions, isn't it? They played well in the game, and it was just those little decisions as we discussed earlier, I think. But there's no doubt that the guys will want to put on the performance to get the result that they think they deserve, and I think it's right to go to Paisley. You know, St Mirren have been flying. They're a really mobile team now, but to have dominated them for large parts of that game just shows you the strength in the Hibs side. So yeah, look, it's natural, these reactions, but I think it also can be the fuel for your next performance, and hopefully we'll see that today.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it a positive that the players use those emotions and keep that hurt in their heads, or is it about almost cooling them down and saying to them again, look, this is the process, we're playing well, keep playing how you're playing, and the results will eventually come?
Yeah, I think so. I think a bit of both is true. You got to manage those moments again, not to get too high in the high moments or too low with the lows, but to use that fuel, as you say, the emotional feelings of it, just makes you not try harder. It just makes you do more of the same. Up a level if you can. So yeah, it's all relative to and relevant to the guys taking the pitch, but you need some kind of emotion and fuel in you to strive for better, and you know, hopefully we'll see them today. Yeah, and Dylan started the last 3 games for us. Obviously after his injury, he's been wanting to kind of get that regular match minutes. He's a really, really talented player, isn't he? Yeah, lovely footballer to watch. You know, little movements into pockets that he gets in, and quality on the ball, consistency of performance now that he's had a run of games. You know, obviously unfortunate to pick up the little injury just after signing, but yeah, you can see the quality of player that's arrived here, and I hope he continues to do well. Yeah, he's a different type of midfielder, isn't he, in terms of Jimmy Jago and Joe Newell. Is so talented, and some of the pictures he sees on the pitch are incredible. That's sometimes the part that's uncoachable. You know, I speak to players a lot about that. Can they see the pictures? And you often get a blank look, but it's true, there's a natural eye and a natural talent in there that he sees a lot. So he's helping making the team tick. Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's just take a look back at our comfortable win against Kilmarnock from last season. It was 2-0 here at Easter Road.
Hanlon and Fish forward. Chabraya is back towards the halfway line. That's a great goal! Beautiful delivery from Aidan McGeady, and a bullet header from Will Fish. His second for the Hibs. Gives Hibs the lead after quarter of an hour. Hibs 1, Kilmarnock 0. An absolutely beautiful delivery there by Aidan McGeady, and that's a textbook header, Joel. Gadden. Chance here for Henderson. Lovely ball for Jago. Cuts the ball back across. Chance for Hibs, it's in the net! Matthew Hoppy opens his account for the Hibs. and it was good work over on the far side, Joel, between Chris Cannon and Jimmy Jego.
Well, Grant, we just looked back at the Kilmarnock game from last season. It was a very comfortable win here, but this season it'll be very, very different, won't it, in terms of Kilmarnock, the way they've started this season?
Yeah, I think so. I think they look a more rounded team. You know, there's threats and attack from them. Two really experienced forwards in there. Structure and McInnes' sides, as we've said. But equally, you know, we have our own change in shape and style, and yeah, so it'll be a totally different match. There's never two the same.
Yeah.
Seems silly to say, but it's an obvious one. So yeah, see who comes out on top today.
Yeah, it's still obviously very early in terms of the dynamic of the season and a race for the European places, but the table's so tight, isn't it? A win today could propel either side into a real good position heading into the Christmas period.
Yeah, I think, probably can't speak for the manager certainly, but I think if you look at some of the draws and the disappointment of Wednesday, for example, knowing that a couple of points, 3 points, 2 or 3 games in succession perhaps propels you so high up the league that you're in a more comfortable position, you can relax and enjoy it. And then get back to keeping doing what you're doing. So the points are really important. I think, probably for different reasons, quite evenly matched sides today, but the win becomes quite important in terms of the points going forward.
Yeah, and it'll be a big boost for Hibs going into the international break. Obviously, the run of results over the kind of last 8 to 10 games have been frustrating in terms of the number of wins that we've been able to get, but equally, like you say, because the performances have been positive, a win today could really propel us going into that break.
Yeah, I think momentum's a lot in football. I think if it goes against you, it becomes tough to take such a break, but these are the perfect weeks to play well, win the match, go into the break with the whole moods in the camp really buoyant and positive. I don't think it's negative at the minute, I have to be honest. See the guys working every day and there's still a good vibe around the place, but a win today certainly going into the break would do wonders for the team, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And just finally, I wanted to touch upon the women's team again, playing here against Hearts at Easter Road. Again, it would be great to see so many Hibs fans, wouldn't it, here to break that record, to sing the girls on, and just a big urge, isn't it, for everyone to get their tickets?
Yeah, honestly, I can't stress enough. I'd urge as many people to get here as they can. They will see a proper football match between the two teams. So the more that can get here, the better. I think there's lots of tickets available. It's all free. So there's no reason not to come. Proper derby match between two very good football teams.
Yeah, make sure to get those tickets. You head across our social media channels and the club website as well. Just finally on today's game, then, where do you think this could be won or lost?
I think if we defend well today, I'm confident the boys will score. It'll be tough because, as we've said, Kilmarnock are so well organised, well drilled, well disciplined, but we've got enough fluency in our forward play now, consistency with the ball, good movements, that keep the ball out today, we should win the game.
Absolutely. Let's fingers crossed and hope for that. Grant, thank you very much for joining us, and thank you everyone for watching at home, and remember to get your tickets for the Edinburgh Derby here at Easter Road. Thank you for watching.